Have you ever felt like giving up on God, but his word would not allow you to? Welcome back to my 60-second-ish Bible study. Today we're looking at Jeremiah chapter 20, and it is one of the realest, most felt conversations with God that I think we all need to hear. So in Jeremiah chapter 20, it starts off with Jeremiah is being persecuted by none other than a man who called himself a priest. He called himself a prophet, but he was prophet-lying, honey. He seen Jeremiah telling the truth of God in front of the temple and decided to persecute Jeremiah. He had Jeremiah put in stocks. He had Jeremiah beaten and whipped all day and night. Jeremiah wasn't released until the very next day. As a result, Jeremiah gave that man a prophecy, and it wasn't pretty. But then in verse 7, Jeremiah started talking to God, and it was honest, and it was true, and it was raw. Verse number 9 says, "But if I say I'll never mention the Lord or speak his name, his word burns in my heart like fire. It's like fire in my bones. I am worn out trying to hold it in, and I just can't do it." See, Jeremiah had a big assignment. It was nothing small and definitely nothing easy. But see, Jeremiah had a close relationship with God. He heard from him. He spent time with him. He listened. He listened to God. With spending time in your word and spending time on your prayer life, there's something that happens. The word literally burns into your spirit. You feel it in your bones. You have a fire for God. And when you are on an assignment, when God puts you on a strategic assignment, you need that. Because that fire in your bones is going to remind you that you were never called to do this on your own. That the mission that God calls you to be on was never to be done by your strength alone, but instead to be done by his. And yes, it's going to be hard. And yes, there's going to be moments that you want to give up, but the word burns in your bones. And with that, you know who the one and true God is. You know what the truth is. You know who the healer is and the redeemer. You know the one and only true Lord would never leave you nor forsake you. You know that you're not fighting the battle alone, that you're not going through the mission by yourself, that your Father, the one that loves you, is there right there with you, and that you can be honest in conversation with him. You can say you're angry. You can say you're upset. You can say you're hurt. Look what Jeremiah says in verse number 11. "But the Lord stands beside me like a great warrior. Before him, my persecutors will stumble. They cannot defeat me. They will fail and be thoroughly humiliated. Their dishonor will never be forgotten." See, the one thing about letting the word penetrate your heart and your mind and your thoughts, letting it burn in your spirit, is that you remember who your heavenly Father is. And you remember who has the ultimate victory. So if God has sent you on an assignment and it is getting hard and it is getting heavy, you go back to the sword, the word. Let it burn in your spirit. You were never meant to do this alone. So don't try to. Love you. Bye.